product of LA Studios, Boricua aquí, LHM, Latino Heritage Month. Yo, let's go. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? This is Noan El Boricua, and coming to you for another episode. And again, shout out to Product of LA for the hat. Go represent them. Go check out their IG. Go to, if you're in Los Angeles, yo, I kid you not, man. The rest of America, if not the world, knows who our Product of LA people are. So if you get a chance, man, go check out their product. Amazing products. And I just love to be able to support all of our underrepresented people that are entrepreneurs. And we got to continue for all our Black brothers and Asians and really the BIPOC community as a whole, of just supporting and making sure they get supported day in and day out. Yo, this is Fuel Pasión podcast, donde estamos aquí con la cultura. We're here with faith y como siempre conexiones. And you know, it's Fuel Pasión Friday. So what can we fuel in your passion hoy en día? Well, I kind of want to get on this subject of kind of like leadership. It's always constantly on the top of mind for me, but I think it's something I hope that each and every one of you guys can probably relate to. And I think for me, one of the biggest things is understanding like how do we level up? How do we take on the chance of like, you know, really, you know, I had a chance to share with someone that it's important to obsess the details and really bring joy to the role that you're in now. Maybe you're in a role right now that you just are over it. You feel that you're done and you're ready for your next. But how can you keep the role attractive where others will want to be able to take your role? And I always say that, like, who wants to take my position? I really want to know who wants to take that position. Because if they take it, then it allows them to be able to move up. And more importantly, it allows them really to understand the importance of like, all right, so where I'm recording on site right now, there's a lot of noise going on, so I do apologize for that. Pero seguimos pa'lante. If we're gonna level up, we need to understand that there's an approach that we have to understand this. And again, I'm going to give a shout out right here with the photo on the multipliers where Liz, the author, really speaks to this, that when you learn to lead like a multiplier, and again, we ain't got all the time in the world, but I've had many videos and references to this book. We need to understand that you got to tackle some things, not all things at once. And I think for me, when you look at these right ways and you look at the right approach and the tools and the practices put in place, this will allow you to get out there. So one of the best ways of like the strategies or the accelerators to be able to get you to become a multiplier is the following. And again, I don't have a lot of time to break this because I know that we always have a time limit that I like to bring to you guys. But here's the first one, man. If you're going to accelerate, I want you to work the extremes. Now, what do I mean by that? I'm going to read this quote. It says, assess your leadership practices and then focus on your development on the two extremes. How do you bring up your lowest low and how do you take your highest high to the next level? I'm going to pause right there. Now, understand what she says again. How do we bring up our lowest low? And how do we take our highest high to the next level? And I think a lot of times we don't realize the importance of that. Like sometimes the low is to be able to say, let me just do away with it because that's my weakness, quote unquote. When on the contrary, Liz, and I really believe in this philosophy as well, is that, look, get your lowest low at least to the middle that meets the requirements. That way you as an asset to wherever you, what space you're in, let it be business, let it be education, community, whatever that looks like, you have ese requisito, right? El balance that you at least know just enough of whatever it is in being that leader, that multiplier. The other accelerator is start with the assumptions. Wow, I can't even say that word. Start with the assumptions. Adopt the assumptions of a multiplier and allow the behavior and the practices to naturally follow. Again, how do we get in that? Look, I've said it many times. You want to be great? Surround yourself with greatness. You want to be that buff, you know, in shape person in the gym? Surround yourself with the biggest and strongest people in there, right? Like, look at the practices and then start, you know, partaking of it and start making it your own. The third one is take a 30-day challenge. In this case, for the author, she says take the 30-day multiplier challenge. And I kind of like that because of the fact that, she goes on with this story, which I'll get that in a bit, of understanding, like, look, it takes practice. It takes consistency in order to get there. So for me, when I think about how do we work the extremes, there was a lot of research by the Zenger and Folkman that published that it's called The Extraordinary Leader. I've actually read that book. I don't know if you guys have. Really good book. And they studied like over 8,000 leaders, and they basically perceived that you want to have no weaknesses. Which, to be honest, I think is kind of cool. And I think one of the biggest things is like, how do you neutralize the weakness? And there's this, I put it, all right, here's a photo. And in the photo, you see like the 5 things of a multiplier, and you see where like it's low and then how it kind of clicks up. But it's kind of understanding like working the extremes of development strategy, but also understand like, Zenger and Folkman found that leaders with a small number of strengths are viewed more highly, I'm quoting this, than leaders who have a broad base of capabilities. I'm going to say that again. Leaders with a small number of strengths are viewed more highly than those with a broad base of capabilities. Whew! Capabilities, strengths. Another video that we're going to have to deep dive. What I love about this is that identify your strongest area and then build this deep, broad repertoire of practices that allows you to be able to excel in that discipline. It's called skills. Propelling that. That's what's going to help you to be able to understand how to be a great leader. But again, when we're working this, right, these assumptions of the strategy of what I showed you earlier is understanding like how can you approach different things depending on what area that you're working on. And I think for me, when we're taking what's the lowest low and working into a neutral area of meets the requirements, how do we take the biggest skill and take it to the next level? I think that's something that I'm going to unlock for another day, because that is key. I think many of you have so many great skills. How can we level your skill to a whole nother stratosphere? And I think when you get to that point, you'll understand what that looks like. The last one, and I'm going to share this story. There was these guys that wanted to become black belts in judo, and it was 3 of them. And the way that they decided to go about it was that every week, right, one person will rotate on giving a ride. And there was moments where a lot of times one or all didn't feel like it. But the beauty of the challenge is that in order to become the black belt in judo, somebody held each other accountable and they constantly went. The moral of the story, all 3 ended up getting their black belts. And they attributed of the accountability of not letting somebody down. Don't let somebody down, starting with yourself. Take the challenge, whatever that looks like, and continue to elevate the game. So that brings me to this. We know that in hip hop, right, there's the boom bap, right? This beat that's very all about batería, not the battery. Batería como en música, the drum, where it's all about the drum beats. And then you have what's all about the mastery of lyrics of the hip hop artists. Those 2 things is what made the likes of like Run DMC to 50 Cent and all these other, various rappers that like when it's cemented in a rhythm section of puro ritmo de batería, drums, and then having the lyrics, palabras, to a whole nother level. I want to share this, man. I want to give a shout out for Latino Heritage Month to none other than my brother, my Boricua, that being his artist named Adam Cruz. Adam Cruz, I want to give you a shout out, brother, because first of all, you are an amazing professional in what you do for Biola University, but I also know that you're also a great entrepreneur and you're also a great artist. Now, as an entrepreneur, if you guys don't know, he actually started this brand called Firstborn. And I'll put it here in reference, and maybe I'll put it somewhere else so you guys go follow. But it's understanding being the first, not just an actual firstborn of a family, but the first maybe to get the education, the first maybe to be the entrepreneur, the first maybe to break this, this chain of like this mindset of being poor and not having generational wealth in the family. Like, it's an amazing brand that it just constantly keeps evolving and keeps driving home this mindset of just taking it to the next level. And I will have to say that as a Puerto Rican man and as a man who is constantly evolving his genre of music, I know you're a fan of that beat, and I know that you're gonna constantly keep doing it. And look, if you guys haven't checked out any of his stuff on Spotify, or I want to say SoundCloud, but for sure I know Apple Music, yo, check out Adam Cruz, man. He has so many good songs out there where he just talks about life. He talks about being challenged, but he also talks about just amazing moments, you know? And I think for me, when we think about how do we go to the next level, Adam Cruz, you're a multiplier. Adam Cruz, you're a firstborn of understanding what it takes to get to the next level. You're someone in a genre of music that is constantly wanting to evolve, constantly wanting to inspire and bring the energy that it needs to take, but also understanding leveling up at least to the minimum requirements that it takes. Here's the thing, as Latinos, as Latinas, and as our allies, we gotta level up and at least meet the fundamental moments and then find the will within of knowing your skill. In this case, Adam, yo, you're a rapper, you're an entrepreneur, you're a husband, you're a leader in your community, in your church. Brother, mi respeto para ti. Y sigue pa'lante. And I just want to say thank you for all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say thank you for your time. As always, please check us out, fuelpasionpodcast.com. And we hope you're enjoying, as always. We appreciate you guys checking out all the audio podcasts that we've been posting. And thank you guys for being patient as well. There's always constant moving parts. Also, if you guys get a chance, yo, check out my latest video, my first ever unboxing. I'm trying, okay? I'm trying, but we got something special also to do another unboxing. That's all I got for you guys. Oye, seguimos con el ritmo. And get ready for next week. We got something for you.